I'm a single parent, and you know, I know the barriers myself of trying to find work. So childcare is always going to be a big thing.
Yeah.
Transport, not being able to drive, that's a big thing. Mental health, that's a big thing.
I think cost of living is the biggest barrier. Like I said, people are having to get full-time jobs instead of doing the training and getting a job that they want or a volunteering role that they want. They're having to go and get a proper job.
I don't know about you, but I try and start the conversations by trying to keep it positive. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's just a matter of people just need someone to talk to.
Yeah.
It's just a lack of confidence.
Yeah.
And just having someone to say, it's okay, you're not on your own,
Yeah.
there are other people in your situations,
Yeah.
and just help to point them in the right directions.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes that's all they need.
They're not alone. Like there are people out there that can help them, and if we know them, we'll point them in that direction.
We basically collect conversations, don't we? That's the aim. At the minute, we're collecting conversations about the barriers people face when finding work, training, or volunteering. Mm-hmm. That's another big thing, is when people who are able to work or able to volunteer find that there's too much financial pressure on them, so they you know, why volunteer when you could get a paid job? So, which is great for them, but for the volunteering sector, it's really hard trying to find those people to volunteer.
I've done this job for about 2.5 years now. I've seen like people's confidence build because they've been in touch with us, you know, and we've signposted them to certain other groups or things like that, and every time they see us, they're more confident, they speak more to us.
I think this event today is probably the biggest it could get for us. We have got another pop-up event planned at the Phoenix Centre in 2 weeks' time, which will be a lot smaller scale than what this is today. Read Easy is a big one that so we both help at the Phoenix Centre. They've come there and met with a few people that use the community CAF, and that's helped them improve with their reading skills, which has helped build their confidence, which hopefully will eventually help them find work.
Yeah.
So I'm Martin, I am a Community Conversations Officer for Mancroft Ward for Norwich City Council. So I work alongside Chloe and Saskia, who are the Mancroft Connectors, and my role really is around looking at what's coming out of those conversations in Mancroft, and exploring with the connectors and with residents and with other council departments the themes and opportunities that are coming up through those conversations, and how we can try and move things along together through co-working for the betterment of those communities.
Today we're at the Honesty Library in the Castle Mall. It's probably been one of our best turnouts so far, and I think it is because it's in such a public space. We're in the middle of the city centre, you know, it's very accessible for people.
One of the questions that I've been asking people is, what is your dream job? You know, a few times actually people have said, oh, I've always wanted to be a nurse. And on the surface of that seems like quite an achievable goal, but for some people, their background and their lived experience makes that a really unimaginable thing to do. They might come from a family where there's generational unemployment. So yeah, the things that on the face of it seem like small goals, I suppose, are actually massive goals for people.
I think one of the crucial benefits we've had from working alongside the Shoebox is that we often find residents are happier to have a more open, honest and frank conversation with someone who's a representative of a nice friendly community organisation like the Shoebox, rather than myself sat there in my council lanyard. The moment you introduce the words council officer into a conversation, people are immediately, you know, distrustful. My role there is quite different. My role is more exploratory and is around, you know, supporting what residents would like to do rather than providing services to them.
I think I've taken away that a lot of people really do want to work, and there's a lot of stigma around people who are on universal credit, don't want to work, but actually they just don't know where to look to get support. I think more employers and organisations should have more knowledge around mental health and supporting people with mental health in a work environment. You need to get the word out there, and that's hard. It is really hard to reach the people that, you know, aren't accessing accessing the internet, aren't out and about in the community already.
Lots of people don't have internet access. They don't. A surprising amount of people don't. Just one person I spoke to today, actually, no internet access, wasn't aware they could go to the library to use computers.
Summer last year now, we done a lot of door knocking in Russell Street area, and that was amazing. We were really sort of apprehensive about doing it and what response we'd get, but we actually got a really positive response from the neighbourhood, and you know, it seemed like everyone felt that there wasn't a lot going on and they really did want community activity and stuff going on, so that was really good to hear.
I basically run the coffee morning. We did start one at Henderson Green, but then through a big change, we were no longer able to use their room. The wonderful Tess, my boss, offered the pub, and we've been here over a year now. So yeah, we offer craft mornings and just basically offer to anyone that wants to come to get to make new friends or just to get out in the morning.
I'm the community connector for North Earlham. I started 6 months ago. I heard about this job through the uni, and I thought it was really cool because it was more about connecting with the community I'm living in.
I've been connecting for 2 years. I started in April 2022. It's been really interesting. I knew a reasonable amount about the community. I had childminded for a while, so I kind of knew of certain things that were happening.
I've been coming to Coffee Morning for about a year. I never normally want to come. I hate interaction. I'm not a people person, but then as soon as I come, I feel a lot better. I'm fine. That's better for my mental health, for my well-being. Because if I didn't have this place, I wouldn't interact at all.
That makes me happy knowing, because especially in the school holidays, I do find it hard to get up and get my children here in time. But to know that it has that kind of impact on people, it makes it all worth it.
I wouldn't go somewhere new if I was walking into a room of total strangers where I'd never met anyone before. You wouldn't see me there for dust. But because there's someone there who I know already, that kind of helps bridge the gap. Because I mean, I'm a single mum, so it's pretty much, I'm the only adult in the house, allegedly. But there's no one, apart from talking to my kids, there's no one else.
That's right.
So this is handy for kind of like getting me out and about. It's just nice to be able to engage with another adult and have a conversation with an adult and say, hi, how you doing?
When we talk to people, we can relate because we go to the same doctors, our kids go to the same schools, we live in the same places. So, you know, we understand what it's like and understand what it's like to have difficulties. And like with regards to the food bank, you know, people come in and they're so embarrassed and so kind of ashamed that they've had to do that. And it's like, you know, we've all been there. Everybody is in the same position. And I think it's important for us to sort of let people know that there is help out there if they want it. And there is support. And groups like this, you know, they're amazing because you come out for an hour and it can lift your whole day.
We do a lot of pop-ups. There are still many people in the community that do not engage with the community activities. So those people do sometimes tend to come to the pop-ups because we do it randomly in like a shop or a GP or at the GPs or even at the pub.
We work with the conversations officer, and a lot of what she's done is getting hold of organisations and sort of reminding them, here we are. We spoke recently to the Science Festival people from the Forum, and they want to come to the area, hopefully sort of towards the end of summer, and they put on activities, which is great, and again a way first to engage children in science, but also for, you know, people to kind of learn about what's happening in the community. So if we can chat to one person and say, oh, you know, they can say, oh, you know, I'm really into knitting and crochet, and we can go, well, great, there's a coffee morning at 5 Ways, you know, come along, and if you're a bit nervous, we'll be there on Thursday, so, you know, you can come and see us.